Viewer discretion advised.
Through the years, few topics managed to stir up as heated of a debate as hell, with both believers and skeptics cycling around the topic. It's more than just a topic. It has been the subject of movies, books, songs, animations, and video games. The questions are many. Does it exist? Where is it? Who gets sent there? Almost every religion has their own version of this infamous place. In Islam, hell is described as an evil resting place and is also known as the fire. People there are beaten with iron rods. They are scalded with water that is described to be as hot as molten brass. They are made to wear garments of fire. Judaism speaks of a place to punish unbelievers, but only for 1 year. It is called Gehenna, or Sheol. This place is constantly burning. In Greek mythology, hell is known as Hades, which is also the name of its ruler. It is the place of eternal punishment for evildoers. In contrast, the Christian Bible states that hell was meant specifically for Satan and his angels. It also describes hell as a place of torment where there are human souls. But Christianity believes that this is because when one shuns God, they are shunning everything that comes with him. One of those things being eternal salvation, the opposite of eternal damnation. There are some who have claimed to have visited hell. Could they have inside knowledge to enlighten us on the matter? To find out, let us voyage through their experiences.
Let us travel to Colombia. There, we will find 7 young people who have a terrifying tale to tell. The date was April 11th, 1995. They claim to have been visited by Jesus Christ with an invitation to tour damnation itself, with him as a guide. They describe terrors such as people being raped with spiked objects, burning in cauldrons of liquid fire, and creatures that torture and terrify them incessantly. They also detail different punishment for different sins, but the punishments always include burning, maggots, and intimidation. These youths claim to have seen all types of people from all socioeconomic backgrounds in hell. Rich, poor, dead celebrities, and even other Christians. One of the testifiers in this group said that she knew she deserved to be there. Another claims he saw caverns that were like labyrinths. He said that the smell was putrefying. All accounts of these youths say that they heard heart-wrenching and terrifying screams emit from the souls in that place. They also claim to have seen people ridden with maggots that never die.
Our next story comes to us from Siberia. Many have heard of the nationally syndicated radio show Coast to Coast AM with the late Art Bell. They mostly featured stories having to do with the paranormal and the supernatural. Sometimes their listeners have input or experiences to share. On one occasion, they were touching on the story of a Siberian science team that accidentally recorded sounds from hell on their audio equipment. The story goes that they had drilled a hole that went down 9 miles into the earth before hitting a large pocket. They decided to lower their specialized audio and temperature reading equipment into the hole. Their readings came back with a 2,000-degree Fahrenheit temperature and sounds that appeared to be that of people screaming in agony. A listener of Coast to Coast sent in an email that appeared to verify this urban legend. He claimed that his uncle collected audio tapes, videos, and other items concerning the supernatural and the paranormal. Allegedly, one of the audio tapes in his possession was a copy of the recordings the Siberian geologists had collected during their excavation. He told his nephew that he got it from someone who worked at the BBC. Now, let's listen for ourselves and hear what all the big fuss is about. But first, warning, what you are about to hear is a recording that is believed by many to be from hell. Do not listen to it without headphones. We do not assume any responsibility for any negative effects it will have if you choose to listen to it out loud. You don't want this type of energy loose in your home. Viewer discretion is advised.
We close with the testimony of former real estate agent turned preacher, Bill Wees. He alleges that around 3 a.m. on the night of November 23rd, 1998, he was pulled out of his body and cast straight into a prison cell in Hades itself. The following is a paraphrased dramatization of his accounts.
It was about 3 a.m. on November 23rd, 1998, when I awoke from my sleep to get a drink. Suddenly, and without warning, I found myself being pulled out of my body and tossed into a dark, foul-smelling dungeon in hell. There were 2 creatures there, ready to greet me. They were about 12 or 13 feet tall and reeked of rotting flesh and sulfur. That's what everything smells like down there. They had sunken eyes and 3-foot claws. Their teeth were pointy and their skin reptilian. The 2 demons that greeted me felt so much hate for God and myself that it was palpable, since they couldn't direct their anger toward the Lord directly. They did so toward me. One of them picked me up and flung me right into a wall. I felt every bone in my body break. The pain was excruciating. The other demon slashed my chest open with his claws. But that's just the beginning. The heat, the heat there is immeasurable. It's so intense that every breath is a gasp. Your energy is drained and every movement is difficult. I was hungry, but couldn't get a bite to eat. I was thirsty, but had no water. I was exhausted, but wasn't allowed a moment's rest. No mercy or light is found there. Only darkness and despair. I was standing on a bed of maggots. They were crawling all over me. They never die. There are snakes and giant spiders there too. I saw a pit of fire in a large cavern. The walls were lined with demons of all shapes and sizes. I could hear souls burning and screaming in agony. They had no peace and no escape. I felt everything they were feeling because God had removed from my mind that I was a Christian or ever having known him. I thought of my wife and my loved ones. I wanted to warn them, but I couldn't. There was no interacting with others in hell. I knew I was doomed. Then suddenly, a bright light appeared from above. I knew that it was Jesus and called his name. He responded, "I am." He pulled me out of there and answered some of my questions. Shortly after, I was instantly transported right back into my body and was safe and sound in my home. My wife comforted me because I was in a complete and utter panic. She had found me in a fetal position on the ground. Anyone who knows me is aware that I am very mild-mannered, and overreacting is not in my nature. I know where I had just been because I had just descended into hell.
So, are you a believer? Do you ever cringe at the thought of someday ending up in this place? Let us know in the comments section either way. Hopefully, you won't get yourself tossed in a dark and putrid pit for all of eternity. Make sure to say your prayers and leave the night light on.
God, are my hands clean? Is my heart pure?
Hell's for the wicked, the scorn, not the unborn. Righteous, sofa like this. Demonic chef for horns, devil's barbecue. You can't fight this, you've been warned. Hell's for the wicked, scorn, not the unborn. Righteous, sofa like this. Demonic chef for horns, devil's barbecue. You can't fight this, you've been warned. Heard of a place, spirits can't rest. Hard to breathe, brimstone in the chest. Spots damn hot, bodies rot. Regenerate non-stop on the clock. Lost chains on your ankles and your wrists. The water for your lips, dark figures in the mist. Demons so tall and small than midgets. Dig it, knives, skillets, grill it. Nightmares, no dreaming, felons, heathens, yelling, screaming, melting, bleeding. Those demon troubles get beaten, skulls can't make a muscle around even struggle. Satanic pottery, demonic property, great God's pottery, ride debauchery is all gotta be for heaven's mockery.
Is there mercy for me? Is there mercy for me? Is there mercy for me?
Hell's for the wicked, the scorn, not the unborn. Righteous, sofa like this. Demonic chef for horns, devil's barbecue. You can't fight this, you've been warned. Hell's for the wicked, scorn, not the unborn. Righteous, sofa like this. Demonic chef for horns, devil's barbecue. You can't fight this, you've been warned.